everybody, this is Pyra, and we are at the end of 2025, and there was no way I was getting to the end of 2025 without a vlog, just talking about everything this year, everything that's happened, and just kind of my plans for next year, my plans and my goals for 2026. So, at a glance, 2025 was one of the best years of my life. Content creation took off for me. I did a lot of really good things. I started getting into the media space, and I got more media access than I've ever gotten in my entire content creation journey. And I got to do a lot of really cool things and say yes to a lot of really great opportunities that I've kind of worked my butt off for many years now. But if you've noticed that I have slowed down over the past few months in my content, there's a reason for that. And I really didn't feel like it was good to make this full video without at least acknowledging it at a glance. If you're part of my Discord, if you're part of my community, or seen some of my social media things, you know exactly what I'm about to say. And if you haven't, the short version of this is that 3 weeks ago from yesterday, as of recording this video, my dad passed away. So since October is kind of when some of his medical issues had really started, and it has been a roller coaster of everything. And now it's just, the past 3 weeks have been a roller coaster of grief. This is my first loss ever besides my Rabbit McGruff a few years ago. Like, I've never lost somebody close to me, and this happened to be the second closest person to me after my husband. And I have definitely taken time off to just grieve and to be with family. And I don't want to go into every detail. I don't want this to be like a sad video. However, there was no way I was going to move forward in talking about my year and what's happened without mentioning at least a little bit of my dad. The most I'll say is that he was my best friend. He really was. Every weird quirk to who I am, the chaos gremlin, circus clown, socially awkward person I am, is because of my dad. Like, he truly was the type of person to be larger than life, and B, him with his neuromuscular diseases, being a quadriplegic, and just the challenges, oh my God, the challenges that poor man faced. One of the biggest things he taught me in my life was to never give up, and that disability did not mean a death sentence, and that life will constantly throw things at you that are unfair and insurmountable, but we're still going to try to figure it out. We're going to MacGyver it, and we're going to overcome it, and we're going to try our best. And so even though that is the hardest thing I've ever dealt with in my life, I can't acknowledge the year in review without acknowledging him, and just sharing how important he was to me, and who I am today and all the success I take on in my life is because of him. So just wanted to share a little bit of that about my dad. And there are so many really cool things that happened. And again, he is a huge part of that in one way or another. And I wanted to list off in literally no particular order the things that happened, because there was so much. There was so many good things that happened this year. And I had to write them down in my Dawn Trail notebook, because literally there is so much that happened this year. And let's dive in. So the first thing, if you were here, you probably know, I popped off on YouTube this year. Last year was the first year I started doing anything on YouTube, and this year was the first year that I really tried deep with more conversational pieces on YouTube, and y'all showed up. Some people not so great showed up, and then some great people showed up. So my best videos that I've ever created were 99% of them happened this year. You guys got me into over 1,000 subscribers, which is nuts. With that too, speaking of getting numbers and everything, Twitch, I have the most subs I've ever had on Twitch, the most followers. I have just gotten such a really great response from the community, and I can't thank y'all enough, from supporting my PAX East videos to supporting my Final Fantasy 14 content, my chaotic live streams. You guys have showed up, and it has just been so incredible this past year seeing all of that grow. Next thing, of course, I cleared the Chaotic Alliance raid in January of this year, which is nuts because it doesn't feel like it's been a year, but it really has. And then like the next thing that I did was PAX East in a different way. As y'all may know, I love PAX East. I cover a ton of content on PAX. This was my first year for PAX, a bunch of firsts. First year going all 4 days, which I've never done before, and the first time going on a media badge. So that was like literally, I don't even know how to describe it properly, but like, it is so insane to me that I was able to get the opportunity to go as media. I got my first opportunities doing some media things with Square Enix for Dragon Quest Remake, which is just so wild. Like, even having the picture of me, I'll probably post it somewhere, of me in front of the Square Enix banner. It's like, I'm still in shock and it's been months later. Just like one of the coolest experiences, being able to talk to indie game devs, being able to get like front row access to like some amazing panels at PAX. I have applied for next year, but even if I don't get it, the fact that I was able to get it this year is just, I'll never be more appreciative. Like, that was one of the coolest things that had ever happened for me. Of course, with that, one thing that I did this year that helped me get all that media access is writing for Marooners Rock. So I've been writing for them for all year, and they've helped me get some of these incredible opportunities with media, which has just been so fun. I've learned how to kind of like do that style of editorial writing, and it's just been one of the coolest things. It has just opened so many doors for me this year. Of course, with content creation and coverage, I also got some Gunner glasses for free. I started getting like not really PR boxes, but like free games and merchandise to kind of like review and show off to you, which has been like such a wild, cool experience. Another thing too with content, this fancy camera that I'm filming on that actually looks crystal clear. I finally started investing in myself in those ways, being able to get more gear that suits what I need, and just it's made me feel more excited to make content, more of a professional. It's been really great. Other things that I did this year, I finally got FanFest tickets. Finally! So FanFest is not till next year. You'll hear more about that in the 2026 goals and kind of plans, but I've been trying for FanFest tickets, God, for years. So when the FanFest first came out, I did not have enough money to go. There was no way. I live on the East Coast. I could not afford to fly out west. And by the time I could afford to, COVID happened and we had a virtual FanFest. And then after that, lottery happened and I was shit out of luck. And so this year, we finally got luck, literally in the 11th hour. Other things that happened to, first time that I introduced a VTuber model. So as you can see, I'm a human and I will do kind of the trifecta. I use my PNG tuber sometimes. I'm going to use the VTuber sometimes. And then I'm just going to be here in front of a camera sometimes too. But it was a venture that I never thought I would do. And I chose it as a way to be expressive without doing all this, because sometimes this is too much. Sometimes my battery's a little bit too low. So I introduced that and y'all really responded nicely to it and people love it. So I'm excited to have that in my arsenal of different content things. We added some new staple games to the mix. Phasmophobia is one of those games. We also do like different party games here and there, like a Repo or Lockdown Protocol or something. But this year really felt like the stride of having these variety games in the mix that don't overshadow 14, but also are kind of regular so that people can participate. People in the community have come and hung out with us, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun finding like a secondary game like Phasmophobia to really like sink my teeth into, and it's been a lot of fun, and it actually has made me appreciate 14 a bit more in like a weird way. Of course, I did my charity stream back in March for the MDA Shamrocks that I always do. We did really good fundraising, as we do every year, and it's a blast. Besides the Bean Boozled, as y'all like to force me to eat the nasty beans and mustard. Ew, so gross. It was just a really cool staple of this year that happened. So much raiding happened this year, and I say that exhausted, but still in love with raiding. Some days I'm like, ugh, I'm tired, but I still love raiding as a whole. We did a lot of Savage. We got Savage cleared this year, maybe the fastest we've ever gotten a tier cleared, which was exciting. And I progged multiple ultimates in 1 year. Actually, right now, as of filming this video, I'm progging 2 ultimates at the same time, which is just nuts. DSR and Fru. So that has been really cool. We also kind of like small promo here. My husband started kind of a weekend ultimate progging slash teaching session on the weekends on my Discord server, and that's actually done really well. So we're helping people learn slash teach DSR and T right now. And so that has honestly gotten a good traction from my community. We're getting new people in the community just for kind of different learning and teaching sessions for both DSR and T right now. And we hope to add more rotations into the mix once people get their clears. So a lot of raiding this year, like a lot more than past years. And it's been fun. It's been fun just like figuring out how to do multiple fights at once, honestly. So that has been a really cool experience of this year. January of this year, we beat 10 years. We met our anniversary of 10 years in Eorzea, which is wild. Everything that I do as far as content is because of this game, is because of Final Fantasy XIV. And meeting 10 years was just nuts, absolutely nuts. I can't wait. You know, I'm a couple weeks away from 11 years in Eorzea, which is just also wild to think. We'll probably do a subathon and some fun stuff. We're still enjoying it. And yeah, meeting the 10-year mark was just so special for me. Other things that happened this year too, with content especially, collaborations. I want to give a huge shout out, first of all, my right hand in content creation, Debbie, or Gamer Debbie. We had a lot of amazing episodes of This Week in Eorzea this year, which we are supposed to be bringing back in just a couple days after a couple short month or two hiatus with real life stuff going on. But yeah, just exploring our podcast This Week in Eorzea, trying to give you guys all the updates on Final Fantasy XIV, as well as some fun episodes in the mix when there was no news, because some weeks we had no news. It's just been so fun to kind of have another person that's so passionate in the space and so like warm and welcoming and like have another positive force in the space. So shout out to Debbie. I love her. She's an amazing human being. And also one of the other people that I collabed with this year just for a short little thing was Vicky, or Vicky Bunny Angel. And she's just a great human being. It was so great meeting her at PAX East earlier this year for the first time, and then seeing her at New York Comic Con and getting to talk with her a little bit more. And then we ran a Halloween costume contest together. And yeah, she's just been another really awesome person in the community. And I'm so glad that I got the opportunity to meet and do a small little collab with. And it's just been really great connecting with people this year. So I want to thank anybody who has talked to me this year, collabed, or offered to collab, or anything. It's just been a really good year for like connection and community, and I'm still on a high from it. It's still been one of the coolest things of this year. And then the last couple things, this year, I got to go to TennoCon for the first time ever, which was just so surreal. So I went with Volante Design. I do work for Volante Design, and we got to go to TennoCon, and getting it's so surreal. Getting to meet so much of the community. Warframe is a game that I don't play nearly as often as I used to, but right before Final Fantasy XIV for me, I was like so obsessed with Warframe back in like 2014. And since then, I still play like here and there. I try to keep it in my rotation, like at least every couple months, getting in and getting caught up. And getting to go to TennoCon was just such a cool experience. Like, Warframe is what got me into community and online gaming as I play now. And so that just felt like such an amazing experience to kind of like put a little bow on like my experience as somebody who's like obsessed with community gaming, online gaming. It was so cool. It was so surreal. I thank Digital Extremes for giving us the opportunity to go up there. It was so fun, and I hope to go back. But yeah, it was just cool. And my first time flying to Canada, which was like, it was so wild. And then the final thing for like major things that happened this year is I won't do a full picture. I'll probably blur people's faces if I even post it. But my static, we finally got to do a full group meetup IRL, which was so great. Static plus, you know, just like my FC kind of community, the core folks. We started planning back in April for like a September trip, and these people are my ride or dies. They're my friends. It was so cool getting a full group meetup. Even like past friend groups in 14 talked about a group meetup, never really got around to it. And this is the first time like a bunch of us are like, hey, we should do this. This will be fun. And then we're kind of like, F it, let's just do it. And it was just a few days of just like chaos and fun. It was so great. And I'll never forget that weekend because it just, again, I'm a community person and it just meant a lot to me and it was so fun. And for 2025, boy, that I feel like that's barely scratching the surface, but to me, that has to be kind of the overview of everything that happened. So much happened. And now that it's over, now that, you know, we're only literally days away from the new year, I wanted to briefly talk about what we have planned for 2026. Now, it could be because the passing of my father was so fresh and so recent, but I'm really looking at 2026, as cheesy and Hallmark as it sounds. I'm really looking into going into 2026 and trying to make it the best year ever. I'm really trying to push myself in a healthy way, like not overdo it, but I'm really trying to like shoot for the stars in my dad's honor and in like honor of myself. But I'm really trying to hit the year hard. The first things, I guess, is going to be a mix of goals and like plans. PAX East, we doing PAX East again, all 4 days. So I have applied for a media badge. I'm not sure if I'll get it. If not, I still plan to go all 4 days to PAX to give you all the coverage, all the tips and tricks, everything for PAX East. And I can't wait. I don't know who's going to be there yet, besides maybe 1 or 2 vendors. But I'm just so excited to keep that in my yearly arsenal of chaos and fun and gaming, everything. I mentioned it before, but FanFest and Anaheim, California. I can't freaking wait to go. I'm so excited. I have no idea what to expect besides what I've seen online and from a couple friends who have gone, but I'm just so excited to go to FanFest, to be part of the community that I've dedicated like literally over a decade to. So I can't wait for that to happen. I've got my hotel. I've gotten my tickets. I'm hoping to go to Disneyland. I've never been to California. I've been to the West Coast once in my life, to Seattle and then Alaska. So that's like the most I've ever done. So I can't wait for that. I'm so excited to just see what happens. I need to go to the Primals concert. I need all of it. Give me it all. So that is so exciting for me. And that is to come in April. Really, with next year, the theme of next year too, especially FanFest onward, is going to be 8.0. We're really going to be starting to learn more about the new expansion. I want to hit the ground running with a lot of content surrounding 8.0. I can't wait. Like, I'm going to be taking my week off to do the patch or the expansion, as I always do. So that'll definitely be something on my radar for next year. If we get expansion next year, I guess we'll learn in April. But I can't wait to really hit the ground running pre-expansion and then like when the expansion comes onward. So excited to get that underway. More videos, of course, like I said, not just 8.0, but I do find the most enjoyment / success out of some of my videos, like, hey, this is my daily routine, or here's how to make friends in Eorzea. And I want to give you guys more things, more videos like that really tap into experiences that I've had in the past 10 years and try to share some wisdom / opinion / whatever. It's been something that I've had to navigate and try to find my style, but I'm going to continue to do it. I think it's fun. I think you guys really love it, so I'm going to continue to try to make more content like that. Of course, I'm going to try to do more review videos as well, sprinkle in some things that feel right for me. I want to do things that make sense. Like the Gunnar Glasses ones, for instance, made sense. I am a glasses wearer, so having products to talk about that like really relate to things that I use in my everyday life, those are the type of opportunities that I want to take because it just feels right. Like it makes sense for who I am as a person and as a creator. So definitely expect more of that kind of stuff from me in the future. And then the last two goals I have for next year. First one is to clear DSR and FRU. I hope. I had some hiccups, of course, as I mentioned in the past few months, but I really want to clear those two ultimates. Ultimates have just been so fun, and I can't wait to get those two titles under my belt. And then the last major thing that I guess kind of encapsulates what I hope for 2026 is to really just shoot my shot. So the major thing that I want to shoot my shot for, I guess the biggest goal I have is to get on Media Tour in some capacity. Final Fantasy XIV Media Tour leading up to the new expansion. Do I think I'll get on it? I really don't know. But you know, like between Marooners Rock and everything that I've done with them and some of my content on this channel, I'm gonna shoot my shot, and I may not get it, and that's okay. But what is the cheesy? What is it? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, or something stupid cheesy like that. So I'm going to try, and if I don't, that's fine. I'm still gonna provide y'all with the coverage, but I really hope that I get the opportunity, and I'm gonna shoot my shot, and we'll see what happens. So next year, like the major theme I think really is going to be to shoot my shot, is going to be to just try, and sometimes if you don't ask, you don't know. So that's gonna be my year next year. I know there's a lot more in the mix. I'm super stoked of everything next year. This year has been like the best and the hardest year for me, and I'm just looking forward to using next year to really just try a little bit more. This year was really good for me having a bunch of new firsts, and so now I just want to double down for next year and really put my heart and soul into it. So yeah, that's it. That is my reflection. Thank you so much for watching, friends. If you want to help support me in any way, the best ways to do so, comment on this video, like, subscribe to the channel. I say it in every video, but like it truly means a lot. It helps me continue to do this and like continue to hear how people respond and how people think of the content that I make. We are live on Twitch almost every single day, so come hang out with us there too. The Discord, we're a really cool community, so come join all the things. And yeah, let me know in the comments below how your 2025 was, and or if you have any goals or big things that you're hoping for 2026. And without further ado, thank you so much, friends. We will see you in the new year. Bye.